So I just did this recording. Actually, not even sure if it worked, but we just sharpened that one. Since I don't know if it'll work, we'll just go ahead and do this next one. I'm gonna open this up. Whew, never have the razor blade pointed towards your wrist. That's not a good idea. Okay, so these are actually the compressed charcoal pencils. But again, we're going, don't dig in too deep. See, that's like a little too deep. Just shaving off little bits at a time. Sort of crafting our tools here. And I'm using like all my, motor skills here in my hands. I'm pushing with my left thumb. I'm pulling up slightly with my right hand. I'm gripping the blade for safety with my right hand pretty tightly. I tend to be a little bit more, I don't want to say something as dramatic as like I'm clumsy, because then that's like my identity and that's like doesn't leave room for change. But I oftentimes have so many things going on that little small mistakes happen quite frequently. So there's a couple things I have to do with safety that I'm very major about, because a little mistake is just a little mistake until it's something that you didn't have safety measures in place to protect yourself against the repercussions. So there we go. Okay, so wow, I really hope I have that video somewhere of that pencil, because that was more difficult. Because it's a 4H pencil. The other one's a 4H pencil. This is a 2B compressed charcoal. Yeah. So this is way blacker. Okay. And, ooh, getting a little too carried away there. Okay. Now you'll notice after you've done this a couple of times, I don't know if you've ever seen those charcoal pencils that have like the little thing that you peel away, sort of like an auto peel kind of thing. Those are fine. You can use those instead of doing this razor blade thing. But when you do those, make sure you peel them down really far, so you can get to where you're going to be using this. So I'm not going to rub this on these two, because these I've used on pencils. So I'm just going to do it on here. And some people will go like this, and they're moving forward, and this works great for some people. I just like this better. But I have to double check my work a lot, because I may not be getting a full rotation of the pencil, so I have to peek around. I mean, at the beginning, I think we all have to peek around more frequently. Yeah. to just go over the little sharpening. And so we have this tip of this pencil, and if you remember from our examples before, we want to have this elongated area to work with, which you'll see. So I'm doing this with actually a 4H. That was one of the things that I wanted to see. So when I'm doing this, I'm kind of pulling up at the very end a little bit, and I'm going slow. And the goal of this is to do thin layers. More, I don't know if you can hear this, but like it starts to make a weird noise when you're getting through some of it, and that's kind of a part of the cues that maybe you should slow down a little bit. See, like I'm getting too much in there. And so it's just about shaving it down. And I'm rotating the pencil. If at first rotating the pencil while you're doing this is like too much, that's okay. Don't push it. That will actually start to happen naturally as you develop that muscle memory. So I'm trying to get here. We want to have a real good amount of exposed lead to work with. Now when I'm doing it like this, I have more control. You know, if I was holding the pencil differently, it would not go well. Okay, so get in there. I'm getting right to my tip there. Just slow my process down. Get a little more tuned in instead of looking around other places. Instead of bebopping to my song, now I'm like totally still. This is like what I'm doing. It's definitely what I'm doing. So I'm just going to kind of get some of that glue off. I want to have more exposed than this, so there we go. That's better. That's looking way better. Okay. Oops. Still like a little wood there. Okay. Now I will take my little sanding block. I'm just trying to get these little corners here. I don't know if you can see that. Those little sharp areas there on the side smooth down, and this thing gone to like a point. There's a lot of little guys there, so then I'll go back through. And I'm rotating, I'll slow it down so you can see what I'm doing. Rotating that pencil. And that's what we got. Need a little bit more of a point on that tip. And while I'm working, I may just take the sandpaper to it periodically to sharpen that up. Cool.